Ah, me. I am one who spends its little breakfast morning glory gazing. Basho. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Thought Process. My name's Marco, and today I have a very special friend. His name is Tiago Cano, and is right. It's Cano, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Cano.
And this is a friend who I've known for more than I would say 20 years now. And we met 99 2000, and ever since then, I mean, the relationship's still going strong. We've had our ups and downs. We've had I mean, we've basically gone through a lot of stuff together. And recently, we're coming out of a rough time, right?
Oh yeah.
So let's just give the audience a little bit of background of how we met and actually where you come from.
Yeah, man. So I moved from Brazil in 99. I want to say it was somewhere around December, like late December, early January. And at first, when my dad and I moved, it was supposed to be just a 1 month vacation. And little did I know I was gonna be here, for 20 years, because my aunt had plans for us, and I just remember coming over here, not knowing, one bit of English. I was put into school within 2 weeks. My dad, he got a job like within a month, and we just had plans on being here for a while, and then um, my aunt noticed that like I really liked, being here. I was learning English very quickly. My dad, he started making money, and before you and I met, I used to live. Do you know where the Superior is? Right there, on 17th Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a set of apartments right across the street, and that's where I lived with my aunt for like 3 months before my dad and I moved to the Village apartments, and that's where you and I met. And I think we've discussed this before, on how we met, and I think it was when you and I, we were rollerblading that day,
Hmm.
and I believe I was the one that was sitting on the stairs, and then like you came up to me, you were just like, "Hey, what's up, man? Do you want to just go around and like rollerblade?" And I was just like, "All right, let's go." And dude, that was the beginning of a 20-year friendship. It's
I
still
know, man.
going
It's like
strong.
I can't believe that it's been so long, dude.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, well, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the transition from Brazil
Mm-hmm.
and here, because I like yourself. I came from Mexico
Mm-hmm.
around the same age that I must have been the same age that you were when you came here,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was about 6, and the transition for me was a little rough.
Yeah, you were a little bit younger than I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Um, the transition for me, dude, I think it was a little bit easier than yours because, I mean, at that age, you know, I was just going to school in Brazil. Like, I didn't really know what was going on when we first moved out here. Like, I thought it was just a trip of me coming out here to like visit my aunt, for a bit, just hang out. And then like I was put into school, and then like I started making friends. I mean, there was actually a period where I thought it was a little rough because my aunt's husband at the time wasn't the nicest person, and he
Mm.
mistreated me and my grandma. Like he would complain about the food we ate, inside the house. He would complain if like my grandma and I came home late one day from like my aunt's house or something, so he complained about noises, complained about like us eating food at the house,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I didn't really like that. It wasn't much fun being there. But when my aunt noticed that, and my dad, my grandma complained about it, and then my aunt found us the apartments, the village apartments. That's where we met. And then I think everything after that point got a lot better, because that's when I started making more friends. That's when I met you. I'm sure you still remember Glenn. That's where I met Glenn as well. As another really good friend of mine. Rest in peace. And yeah, man, I think the hardest part was just that very beginning, living with my grandma, my aunt, and her husband. But everything after that, it was just very like easygoing, just staying in school, playing soccer, and yeah, it was just smooth after that point.
For the short-lived years that
Mhm.
you lived in Brazil,
Mhm.
what do you think about the quality of the lifestyle there and here? I mean, you've grown, and you've grown used to the lifestyle here,
Right.
but what's the difference between here and Brazil?
The main difference about here in Brazil is that the people in Brazil, they know how to be happy without a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
where I'm from, it's kind of a small town, so what we do a lot in Brazil is just like spend a lot of time with family. We go out to the river and go fishing. So the main difference is that um yeah, you still have to work in Brazil, but I feel like here it's all about work, paying your bills, and you kind of forget about spending quality time with like your friends or your family and just like being out in nature.
mhm, mhm.
I think that's the main part. And then other obvious things like Brazil is not as nice as over here. The freeways are not as big. We don't have that many amusement parks, at least from where I'm from. But I would say the main difference is that people out there, they're more about family and like being together, going out, doing things. And here it's kind of like a lone wolf type of thing. It's like
So
everyone for themselves. Like if you don't do it, no one's gonna help you. Like you have to strive, you have to work hard. It's same as Brazil, but over there it's more laid back.
yeah,
That's
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 that's what I it's what I keep hearing from people that are not from the U.S.
Mhm.
Um, I have my brother-in-law tells me all the time, like, the reason why he loves to go and take long vacations in Mexico is because the time appears to be moving slower,
Right.
and it's not as hectic. But Orange County, especially in the big cities, we live in a very fast-paced environment where you get up, you have to go to work, you have to come back, you have to pick up the kids from work, then you have to take them to karate, and then they have to help them with their homework, and then you have to do it all over again, five
Mhm.
days a week. And
Mhm.
the only time you have, and even now, man, I feel like people are working over the weekends.
Yeah.
I myself, I'm working. I don't have a day off. Like I'm just work. Like right now, I'm doing this, but I'm still next to my phone. You know,
Right.
so I think that has a lot to do with it.
Mhm. Yeah, man. Over here, it's like every hour is crucial. Like you said, it's like dropping the kids off. Going to work, coming back, and I think what you're trying to say is that it's very hard for us to find a balance between work and our personal lives. Whereas in Brazil, I think it's easier for us to find that balance. You know, and like you said, especially where we live. In Orange County, man, there's always something going on. Maybe not right now because of the pandemic,
Hmm.
obviously,
Hmm.
but I think next year, when things go back to normal, it's gonna get hectic. Like right now, I'm only working 3 days a week. It went from 1 to 3 days, and it's good, but it hasn't gone back to, where it was before. And I know once it does, it's gonna get really, really hectic, man. Because everyone right now is just dying to get out of their house, to go out and go to Disneyland, leave the East Coast, come over here and do all the things that we have to offer.
Right.
So
Yeah. It served as a good break, but I think that everybody's ready to go back.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go back, that's for sure.
Dude, it's just life has just changed. You know,
Hmm.
everything's just was just turned upside down with this whole thing. But I don't want to get stuck there because enough we have plenty of sad stories to get through. Um, so uh, so Brazil and I think Mexico is similar in
Hmm.
in many ways. It's all very about the community, family, friends. Um, have just having a good time for the most part. Just you have to go to work, get your stuff done, but you come back to enjoy your family.
Mhm.
And like you said, it's very hard to find that balance here because of the lifestyle that we live. You
Yeah.
know, um, so you come here. How
Mhm.
how did you start learning English? Because I was just talking to Greg about this the other day.
Uh-huh.
The way I started learning English was through like cartoons and just watching TV, which is probably the worst thing I could have done.
Mhm. I did do a little bit of watching cartoons, movies, but I think the main thing that helped me learn English was I'll never forget this. It was third grade, and my teacher, whose name is I can't remember right now, but I always think about it because it's something that you never forget. And he would send me home with these audio tapes, right? And he would make me, put in my headphones, and it was an audio tape, like a follow along to a Curious George book. So
Okay,
I'll
okay.
never forget. Yeah, it was. I had like a bunch of Curious George reading books, and I had an audio tape that would pronounce all the words and read them out loud to me. So I did that over and over again, and then it was just a lot of just practicing at school. Being with your friends and learning English.
Hmm.
I think that really helped. But I think the main thing that helped me out the most was the Curious George books for
It's
sure.
funny that you say that because one of the first books that I ever picked up here
Hmm.
was also an audiobook, but it
Nice.
was Star Wars,
Okay.
and I was instantly hooked.
Yeah.
I could barely understand what it said, but the the audiobook had like the sound effects, it had the like background noise and like a bunch of other things
Hmm.
that just got me hooked with Star Wars, and then I've always been a fan after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I feel like if we did just like the traditional like read everything off of paper and try to just like learn as you go in that way, I think it would have been a lot harder. Definitely the audiobooks, they help because like you're seeing the word, you're hearing it, so your brain is registering, the way, how it should sound. I think that's one of the reasons why I don't have an accent, and people ask me all the time, like, oh, you moved from Brazil, but it sounds like you were born here, your English is good. You don't have any,
Hmm.
any bit of accent.
Right.
So I think those audios was definitely, one of the main reasons why I was able to develop my English the way it is today.
What would you consider the
Huh.
Brazilian accent to be?
Oh,
Because
dude.
that's a hard one. I don't think I've ever thought
I've
about that.
yeah, I've tried, to like mimic, but it kind of I don't know, man. I get a few Brazilian customers, to go into work, and like it's definitely kind of like they speak a little bit slower. Um, I'm trying to compare,
It's just a little rough around the edges, right?
yeah, pretty
Because I
much.
work with a lot of like Hispanic
Uh huh.
like vendors that come and do work for us,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them it's I can understand them, but they have a hard time, and some of the things are mispronounced or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a little rough around the edges with the English.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wish I could try to, give you an example, but like when someone comes up to me and they're speaking to me in English, like I can pick it up right away, like, oh, this guy's got like a Brazilian accent, like he's probably from Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And 90% of the time, like I'm correct, it's just like it kind of depends where they're from too, because Brazil, like, depends what region you're from, I'm sure that's how it is in Mexico as well. Like some speak really fast, like kind of like the East Coast, like it's very fast. Words are kind of like mixed, like
Right, right.
so. Yeah, like I would say I get a lot of customers that come from São Paulo in Brazil. And it's very easy to distinguish, where they're from, like when they come over here and they speak to me in English.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so funny, man.
yeah.
It's funny how it doesn't matter where if you live in the US, it doesn't matter where you come from, you still try
Mm-hmm.
to speak the English,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah, you have to.
Dude, my
You know?
mom, you've known her for 20 years.
Yeah.
My mom still, she doesn't understand. She doesn't know any English, which is funny because she's been here for 20 years, right? But it was never her main focus.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And but it's funny to see her still, for in one way or another, she still gets her point across with her at her work,
Mm-hmm.
or if she goes out to the bank and she needs to go get some money or whatever, she
Mm-hmm.
still does it. It's just funny how to, it's funny to see them, uh, still just banging out like whatever they have to do to get their point across.
Yeah, man. She knows the basics, and she knows everything that she needs to, to get through her day. Like
Dude.
it's, like you said, if she needs to go to the bank, she knows what to say at the teller, and hey, for some people, that's all they need, and it
Yeah.
works, you know. And, I feel like, this is kind of like relatable to Brazil. People don't have a lot, but, they have the basic stuff that they need, and for them it's okay, but like for us here, like we always want more, and I feel like that's why the life here is more stressful.
Do you well, do you think that it's because of the consumer mentality that we have? And not to mention, everywhere we go, we're being sold something.
Advertising.
Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You're on your phone,
Mm-hmm.
you're watching TV, you're on Facebook, you're just driving down the freeway. You
Yeah.
still see ads, you still see all these advertisements.
Yeah.
That has a lot to do with it.
Absolutely, man. And especially now, if I Google, Starbucks, I'm going to go on Facebook and what am I going to see? Starbucks ads,
Mhm.
and just the way advertising has evolved, it's just like, it's too much, and with Amazon making things so easy, just to be on your phone and like, oh, this is, I want this, I want that, and it'll be at my door in 2 or 3 days. Like that stuff gets addicting, man.
I know. And
It
then
gets really addicting.
have you noticed that when you order something from Amazon, let's say you put in the order today, like maybe tomorrow morning, you're already checking the
Oh,
status. Like where is my thing? How far is it? How many hours till it gets here?
Yeah, man. That's one thing about us, it's we're not very patient, like we want things done like right away, things
Right.
delivered. And another reason, I feel like people in Brazil, we're more patient, more laid back, and I feel like people in Brazil or in other countries, they live longer, because of those reasons. The stress levels are less. The food they eat, it's more organic, it's healthier.
That's right.
We don't inject our cows. We let things grow naturally.
Mhm.
So I feel like,
That's a good point that you say that, man,
yeah,
because I think that stress is the number one killer in the US.
yeah,
And
causes cancer.
that, I mean, we'll get there, right?
Mhm.
We'll get to that
Yeah,
part of the
little
conversation.
sneak preview there.
It's such a big thing, dude. I mean, even at school, I remember when I was a kid, being from another country, as an immigrant here, I came into school and I had no idea of how to speak to people, what the social dynamic was, how to make friends, homework. Like to me, it was just another world.
Mm-hmm.
Mexico, we had homework, we had all these other things there, like here, but it wasn't as strict. Your parents didn't have to sign for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember in well, it must have been about 6th, 7th grade. We had like a journal, like an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
I think they called it your agenda.
Yeah.
And every night, your mom was supposed to sign that you did your homework. And back then, we, I mean, maybe not in middle school, but before that, we'd get home and all we'd want to do is go ride bikes, go rollerblading, spend our allowance at Del Taco,
Yep.
eating chili cheese
Play
fries,
some Mortal Kombat.
play Mortal Kombat,
Mhm.
play video games. We never really cared for homework.
No,
You know,
I didn't.
so I remember going going to school, and you had to get your mom's signature that that you did your homework or whatever.
Mhm.
And I would get to school, and not just me, man. It was like half the class. Half the class had come up with this system so that you could cheat your way into it, which was you would print out the agenda, right? And then it would be like your mom's signature. And then you would like post it
Mhm.
on like print it and glue it onto the agenda. So
Yeah.
it'd be like thick. And then people would like outline the squares so that you couldn't tell that you posted it,
Oh, I see.
right?
Right.
And every day, every day, everybody had done their homework, quote unquote, done their homework, but that wasn't the case, you
Right.
know. And anyway, that's just a little side story. But coming here, not knowing anything about the life here was really, really difficult.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can relate to that when you first started going to school here.
Yeah, man, I have some stories that, I don't really share with a lot of people, but, you know, learning English, it takes time, for sure. Especially, I mean, you learn, quicker and easier when you're younger, but I do remember sometimes, being in class and like kids making fun of me, because like I didn't know how to pronounce the word, correctly, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe at times where I was the kid that just like hung out by himself during lunch because I didn't have any friends at the time. But I think one of the things that helped me get through it was playing soccer, because I wasn't very good at English, but one thing I was good at was soccer. So when
Yeah, I
people
remember
noticed
that.
how good I was, they would try to talk to me, be my friend, or they would want to be on the same team,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's how I made some friends. But yeah, with schoolwork, I wasn't the best either. I would just like you said, I would want to come home and just go outside, play basketball, like we used to, at the
Mm-hmm.
blacktop. And I do remember that one time where we ditched school. Remember? And we were at do
Dude,
you remember this story?
allegedly. Okay,
Oh yeah, dude.
so
Share it.
must have been like 2002, 2003.
Yeah, right around there.
I think it was like I had just gone to fifth grade, and we used to ride bicycles together to
Yep.
school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then one day we just we were riding our bike, and behind a business park there was like some ramps, and we used to go over there, just kind of hit the ramps on the bikes.
Yeah.
And then one time I
Mm.
remember hitting that ramp, and I hit my brakes, and I flipped over,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
I almost got ran over by a car.
Yeah.
Remember that? And
Man.
then
Crazy
we
Marco.
did that a few times, and one time I don't know why, dude, just one time I just came up with this whole thing like, oh, I'm just gonna throw this rock. We're gonna throw this rock on the street, and like where the cars were coming. And dude, I'm like, we're like in fifth grade, dude. So I throw the rock. It goes through the car's window, but we didn't break the window. We just went through the
It
window,
went right through the
and
passenger and the driver's window,
it just
dude. What are the odds of that, man? Like,
so lucky.
yeah.
The guy was so pissed. He turned around and we ditched our backpacks.
How did he even see that rock, dude? The rock must have gone like right in front of me. Like, what the heck was that?
Dude, he was so pissed. He
Yeah.
did a U-turn, and
We heard his tires screech, dude. We're like, we need to run right now.
we
Yeah.
ditched our backpacks. And
Worse.
back then, when we used to take the bus, you had this bus pass. And so that's how he figured out who we were, where we lived, what school we went to.
All of our information, man.
And next thing you know, well, we ditched it. We freaking didn't show up to school because we were paranoid. And then we get a call. It was your dad and my brother-in-law. They came over. They're like, "Hey, this happened, and you guys are gonna be in big trouble." And then that was I think getting in trouble that day really molded me into who I was later on in life.
Mm.
Never getting in trouble like that again. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was like
That was scary,
that
man.
scared me straight.
Yeah, I just remember us being in the apartment, just hanging out, and then my dad comes in out of nowhere. Remember, because he got a call at
Oh, I
work,
know. He was so pissed.
and you and I, we didn't even expect, my dad to come home. We were just hanging out, and then he just comes in, and then he was like, "What did you guys do?" And then he sent you to your house. Was anybody home? Was your mom home at the
No,
time?
man.
No.
No,
Did you
nobody.
go home? Like,
I
I kind of
actually,
forgot what
I
happened when you left.
after that, I think I actually went back to school.
You went back to school that same day?
Yeah, and like not right away, but after,
Uh
because
huh.
nobody was
Where
there.
were you going again? What school?
At that time,
I was at.
Helen Estock.
We both went to Estoc?
I went to Estock.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, because you're a grade above than I. Oh,
Yeah, I was in
okay.
fifth grade.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Who did you have for fifth grade? I'm trying to remember.
Fifth grade, Mr. Heerman. Mr.
Oh,
Heerman.
you're right. You're right. And we had Miss Coffee. Remember Miss Coffee? I think she was
Uh,
she fourth grade?
I think she was fourth grade.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I remember having Miss Coffee. Oh yeah, you're right.
Mr. Heerman. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
only
We
remember
did
it.
go to the same school. I don't know why I thought you went to a different school. No, but yeah, we went to the same school.
Yeah, that was a that shit scared me straight, dude. After
Yeah,
that, I don't think I've. I mean, I don't know if I ever gotten in trouble after that at school. I don't think so.
yeah, that was the first time I ever saw my dad mad, like mad, mad.
I know, dude.
Like
I
this
was so
wasn't.
scared of you, Dad.
Yeah, this wasn't just one of those days you're just messing around the house, and he gets mad at you. Like he was very
Yeah, he was
upset.
really upset.
Yeah, yeah, that was the first time
I
I ever
wonder
saw him.
what they told him over the phone. Like, oh, your kids are like endangering, cars or something. I don't know.
Probably, man. That
So I don't
guy.
blame him. I don't blame
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Whoever we almost hit in the face with the
Yeah,
rock,
sorry
must
about
have
that,
been.
man. We're just kids. We had no idea.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
glad you,
just troubled kids.
I'm glad he turned around, dude. Otherwise, we wouldn't have learned.
Yeah, we
I
would have.
wonder what would have happened after that
We would have just kept throwing rocks until like
until it happened.
broken, somebody's headlight or bang
Just
up someone's door, just something bad, dude.
isn't that funny, dude? Like at that age, how careless and just the shit you would do at that age. Like you just didn't care.
Yeah, because we
You
don't have any responsibilities.
you don't think about that kind of
Yeah,
stuff, you know?
because everything kind of falls on your parents. So if you get in trouble, it's like, I'm not gonna be in that much trouble. My dad is. Not that that's how I viewed it.
Uh-huh.
But when you're a kid, you don't really think
You just
about
don't
it.
know any better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're so used to your parents taking all the responsibility for anything that happens. So that's why I feel like kids kind of do what they want because, their parents are going to come in, either back them up or whatever. Not necessarily back them up, but they're going to take the heat.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I remember dude, my mom was so pissed at me.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know
I bet.
I don't know if you remember, but she cleaned homes like for 30 years, dude. So
Mhm.
she worked with her hands day in and day out.
Mhm.
Her hands, dude, are like man hands. Just heavy, like rock hard hands, dude.
Yeah.
I'm still scared of her. And she's freaking 70 years old, dude. I'm still scared of her.
Yeah.
Dude, she had this heavy hand. She was so pissed. She was so pissed at me.
I bet, man.
Dude.
I think she wasn't happy with me either, because I think I remember going over your house right after that happened, and it wasn't the same vibe, as if before it happened. Like
Right.
your mom always treated me well, dude, like a son almost. She
Yeah.
always treating me like we were brothers. Come home, giving food.
Yeah, dude.
And she was always welcome, like for me to sleep over, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So she was definitely upset, and she
Yeah.
wasn't happy with what we did.
No, dude. But it's funny, dude. Like every now and then, she'll tell me like, "Hey, like, how's Tiago? How's he doing?" So I just
Nice.
kind of gave her the run. Actually, she asked me like, on my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, how's Tiago?
No
I'm
way.
like, oh,
Okay.
he's good. I think
Few
we're
weeks
about
ago.
to hang out because I told you, I didn't want to put you in a situation where there's a lot of people.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people are still a little sketched, and given the circumstances, I don't want to. I don't want anything to happen
Mhm.
because of me, right?
Yeah.
So,
No, I
but I'm
appreciate
glad
it.
I'm glad that we're hanging out now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, man, I'm kind of bummed out. I missed birthday parties. I didn't go to your wedding. But I think from now on, after this coronavirus thing's end, we're definitely going to be hitting up some events together.
oh yeah, man,
For sure.
dude, it's been we like there's a few people that I've known for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I know you. I know a couple of people that I went to school with. I don't know if you remember Raul. If
Sounds
you ever
familiar.
if you ever met Raul, um,
He sounds very familiar, but I don't think I met him, or maybe I did, but it was like a one-time thing. Yeah.
well, growing up, dude, I remember uh we broke the glass on the basketball court at the blacktop.
We did.
Yeah.
Wait, how do we do this?
I don't know. I think we were just like throwing the basketball
Mm-hmm.
like from from one side of the court to the other, and it
Yeah.
just hit the glass on the right spot, and it just shattered. And then they never put that
Sounds.
basketball back up because of that.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There was like a tether ball.
Right.
They took everything out because, dude, I'm telling you, at that age, we were just being kids, exploring, playing cops and robbers.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Oh, that was fun,
you
man.
know, we'd just like be running around these 230 apartments, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, man. It was always one thing I was looking forward to, coming home, like come home from school, get something to eat really quick and then just head out. And the rule was, once the lights go on,
You have to be home.
yeah,
Yeah.
my dad would, start looking for me. And like you said, man, we did a lot. We played basketball, we played cops and robbers. We rode our bikes, our rollerblades. We even played soccer on the blacktop. Do you remember how it was the blacktop, the basketball court was over here,
Yeah.
and then there was these trees on the left hand side, and then there was two of them which they had like enough space
Yeah. To
for
be a
us to,
goalie.
to be a goal,
Yeah.
and we would play soccer right there.
Dude, the best. It's no wonder
Played
why.
soccer on the blacktop. That's like some Brazil stuff right there.
Yeah,
You do it,
it's no wonder why I never wanted to do my homework because I just wanted to be out there
And we had so
hanging out.
many things to do, man.
Yeah.
Do you remember Paul, Latimer?
Yeah, dude.
I'm sure you remember that, man.
I still talk to Latimer a little bit online.
Nice, man.
Paul, I haven't really heard from Paul, but I actually
What
just
about?
I just added Becky
I was gonna
on
say,
Facebook.
yeah.
She just came up and I added her.
yeah.
I haven't said what's up, but maybe I should. But Gerardo, you remember Gerardo? I
Did he
went to
live?
high school with him. He was
Didn't he have a
Becky's.
brother?
His brother is Gerardo, and
What was his name? Paul? No, not Paul.
how did I not know?
He was really skinny, right?
Yeah, we used to play soccer. I used to play soccer with him.
Yeah, man. We used to live in the same block. Remember how I used to live upstairs?
Yeah.
587 apartment C. I'll never forget it. And they used to live right across from me on the upstairs too.
Right.
And then Latimer was on the same block, but on the bottom, more closer to the right side. And that was us right there. And then Paul was on the other side. You were on the other corner of the complex.
Dude, I don't know if you remember hearing, but Paul's dad passed away.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was
sad,
really,
man.
really. It was like before that, the only time that I had someone pass away was like maybe a family member.
Mhm.
Before that was my dad.
Yeah.
And then, because he was so cool with me, man. He was like our soccer mentor.
Yep.
He used to take us to all the games. Like my mom was working 7 days a week, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He would literally take me to play soccer, watch over us, bring us back.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so thankful for him
Yeah, man.
that I
Paul.
was able to have someone like that in my life at that point in time.
Yeah. No, Paul's dad was definitely someone special, man. He took care of all the kids on the block as if, it was his own. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like I remember I forgot this guy's name, dude, but he was the bully of our complex. Remember his freaking name, dude?
He spoke very little English,
Yes,
right?
yeah, broken English, and he liked to just pick on everyone, make fun of you for no reason.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
do you
I
remember his name?
mm,
Omar. It was Omar,
no.
wasn't it?
Omar. Oh,
Dude,
maybe Oscar.
Oscar,
Omar or Oscar, something like that.
I think it was
Maybe
Omar, but
Omar.
maybe Oscar. Yeah,
But he was only there for like a couple years, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He came in after we had moved in there. Like we had already our,
Like
set
group
of
of friends.
friends. Yeah, maybe he probably got jealous, because he didn't fit in with everyone, like
He
we
was also
did.
a little older,
Yeah, he was.
right?
He was, and that's the thing about older kids, when you're, 6 or 7, they feel like, they can just bully you, or kind of take over.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That guy was
But
a little douche.
yeah. But back to Paul's dad, man. I remember one time I told him about Omar, or whatever his name was. And I was just like, yeah, man, this guy, he's always picking on me. One time I think he even like, I think he stole my bike for like a day, and then he like left it outside like by his house. So I went back and I grabbed it, and I told Paul's dad about it, because Paul's dad was always there, playing basketball with us,
Mm-hmm.
and he always took the time to hear you out. And I think one time it was just him and I. Like I wanted to go play basketball, and it was just him there. And that's when I told him, and then he was like, don't worry about it. Like next time I see him, I'm gonna talk to him about it, because he can't be doing that, to you guys. And sure enough, man, I never got shit from Omar again. He just like stopped bullying me. And yeah, man, Paul's dad, he was really, he was really nice to
He was such
everyone.
a sweetheart of a man.
Yeah, yeah, his personality, man, is very humble. It's very sad how like someone like him, who was religious, humble, he was healthy, liked to play sports, and but then his body, just took a turn, and he died of cancer, right?
It was a form of
A
cancer.
form of cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man,
It was a
it's crazy how
it's
that
been
could
really
happen, man.
tough.
No matter how much you take care of yourself, all it takes is that one cell, to divide uncontrollably, and then it's all it's all gone from, or it's all done from there.
Yeah. I guess we're
Hmm.
going deep right now
Oh
then.
yeah, to our main topic here, guys.
Yeah, man. So, recently, what about a year ago?
um, yeah, almost a year ago.
Yeah, I remember you seeing something online, and you said that you weren't feeling too good, and
Hmm.
I mean, I've known you all my life, dude, right? I remember we used to eat pretty healthy besides like the Del Taco,
Yeah, 3 times a week.
whatever our allowance would be able to get us. um and you played sports, you've been really healthy for most of your life. How it's like you said, like one day your body just takes a turn
Hmm.
kind of on itself, it kind
Yeah.
of yeah, you want to give a little bit of the context before we dive really deep into it?
Yeah, man. So the crazy thing about this was that when I came to see you last time,
Yeah.
it was in December.
Mm-hmm.
It was I was going to what's now, my wife, I was going to her party that she had. It was a Christmas party.
Which, by the way, man, congratulations,
Thank
because
you.
that day when
Thank
you
you.
left, I
Yeah,
remember
do you
you
remember me
said,
telling you?
yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm kind of seeing this girl, and I'm really happy. I hope it turns into something. And well, now, congratulations, she became
Thank
your
you, bro.
wife.
Yeah, been married for almost 2 months now.
Man, congrats, it's the best.
And we have a baby girl coming in 2 months.
I saw that.
Yes, sir.
So
Did you see the
congratulations on
hat?
that, man. That is a cool
Yeah,
hat.
thank you. She got it for me.
Yeah, it's really cool, man. I'm really happy for
Thank
you.
you.
So about a year ago, You
Yeah.
kind of told me that you were going through some stuff.
Mhm.
It turned into a form of cancer.
Mhm.
And well, first of all, before we get into whatever you want to discuss, we don't
Mhm.
have to go into detail or anything like that.
Right.
Uh, I just want to, I want to say thank you to the big guy for allowing me to have this conversation with you.
Of course.
That you're still here.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, man. Truly
uh,
blessed.
I've I've had my experiences with cancer,
Mhm.
which I'll get into after we discuss whatever you want to discuss.
Mhm.
Um, but it's a thing that it just I can't believe that we still don't. There's no way to cure it.
Mhm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I know,
Mhm.
that cancer is actually a little closer to immortality.
Mhm.
Have you heard of that?
No, not
No.
I haven't.
So again, before we get into the whole details, whatever,
Yeah.
I've heard that the cancer is actually the cell multiplying uncontrollably.
Correct.
And
Mhm.
so, if you think about it in a big picture form,
Mhm.
that's actually a form of immortality because our cells tend to not duplicate, and that's how we age. They kind of slow down. They kind of take a long time to regenerate,
Mhm.
and so that's the aging process.
Mhm.
And so, if you look at it on on the other side,
Right.
it's a form of like immortality in a sense, and we just don't know how to control it.
Hmm.
Never heard of that?
No, I've never
No.
heard. No, I never heard or anything.
Well, you've been through. What's your understanding of it?
Well, so the type of cancer that I got, you know, fortunately, it has a 95% cure rate. I came down with testicular cancer in late December. Um, Pretty much what I was experiencing was just some lower back pain. I noticed that, there was a lump, in that area, and I wasn't experiencing much. It was like on a 1 through 10, it was like about like a 6 or 7. Other days it was a little bit more, but I had been reading stuff online, and some of the things that I read was, this usually goes away, it could be easily fixed. I would never imagine being testicular cancer,
Right.
especially, like you said, I was always active, I ate pretty good, always played soccer. But then I went to go get a blood test, and then a week after that, that's when I found out the alpha fetoprotein, which is a tumor marker, for testicular cancer. It was very high, you know. So once we found out, I was put into surgery like 4 days after that. It was very quick. Like
Mm-hmm.
they didn't want to waste any time.
Of course.
Let's just get this thing done. So I did that, and after my recovery, the tumor markers didn't go fully down. They went about halfway down, and then they stopped, and then they went right back up. So when that happened, there was no other choice but chemotherapy, you know. And at that time, I went to Brazil. You know, we went there for a week, my wife and I, just to go visit my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good time, but in the back of my head, I was still thinking about, like, man, when I get home, I have to go through this. And this was right when the coronavirus, started its peak. So many things going through my head, not knowing the outcome of, like, what if I get sick, what if I'm in the middle of chemo and I catch this thing, like, my odds of getting, healthy again are probably slim to none,
Right.
because chemotherapy, as most of us know, is wipes out everything. Your
Right.
immune system is shot. Like,
Right.
you have almost nothing.
Yeah.
So I came back, I went on chemotherapy, and it lasted for 2.5 months. I did 3 cycles, no, sorry, 4 cycles of EP, which I can describe it, but probably won't get into that right now.
Right.
But yeah, man, to answer your question, I think it is curable, but like what most people say, medical hospitals can make more money,
Okay.
just treating it rather than curing it, and I think it also has to do with like maybe population control, like they don't want, everyone living 80, 90 years old. There has to be a balance, right? Of how many people are dying, how many people are being born, right? So, luckily for me, I had a 95% chance. Obviously, I'm still here. 100%, I'm good. I've had 4 blood tests since I've had my chemotherapy, and everything came out 100%. And I'm on watch for 2 to 5 years.
Mhm. Mhm.
So if it doesn't come back within 5 years, then it's a very high chance that I will never get it again.
Right.
So, definitely this year, next year is very important to me. I have to eat well, exercise, make sure, I used to do like, I used to smoke cigarettes, like not all the time, but like if we were like at a party,
Right. Right.
or just a kickback, like we're just enjoying a beer or
Yeah.
something, like I would have one or two, So who knows what triggered it, because people smoke their whole life and they don't even die of lung cancer. They can smoke for 60 years and die of something else.
Right.
So I definitely appreciate everything, that I have now. I'm a lot less stressful. I appreciate life way more than I did. I mean, I've always appreciated life, but now it's like at a whole new level.
Right.
You tend to view things a little bit
Of
different.
course.
You don't stress yourself out when you don't really need to. You need to learn like, okay, what's worth stressing out and what's not. And I think it's very important, for us to have that balance and just like always take a step back, when you're going through something. You have to kind of like just breathe, relax and go from there. Before I was always like just trying to get it done like on the same day, like if something went wrong, I was stressed out, wouldn't sleep, and all of that could have caused to what I had.
Yeah, it could have been like a culmination of many different things,
Hmm.
and a combination of many variables.
Right.
Like the sleepless nights, which is actually more important than eating
Hmm.
food.
Yep.
Sleep is super important.
Yeah,
It's
man.
something that I never appreciated until now.
Hmm.
Until I'm 30
Sleep is
years
very
old, dude.
important. Yeah,
I just
invest in
turned
a good
30.
bed too, because
It's really important.
yeah.
The sleep, the nutrition, the ingestion of alcohol, substance, nicotine,
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you know. Well, I
And
mean,
then
I guess we'll never know. But
yeah. And then one thing I just wanted to add, because while going through cancer, one of the things that really helped me out the most was, just having faith, the support that I had from my wife, which was unbelievable, man. Like at most, a lot of people brought this up, and it's true. Most of the time, when you're in an early relationship like I was, most people would probably want to opt out. Like you have cancer, like I hope for the best, like I'll support you here and there, without really saying it, but a lot of people tend to get scared from that, and my wife, she was the exact opposite of that. Like she dove in with me like 100%. I never had to ask her to go to any doctor's appointment. She always like reminded me of when there were. She always drove them with me. She was there she was in the room with me all the time. She took care of me during my surgery. She took care of me during my chemotherapy. And that's when I knew, man, she was the one for me, cuz not a lot of people will do that, man. It's very hard to find that one person who will just accept things for the way they are. They love you no matter what, no matter how poor, how sick you are, and that's how she was.
you're a lucky man.
Very lucky, man. And I appreciate her every single day. I love you, babe. And it's just something that, I'll always treasure, man. Always, because it's it was tough, man. Just like I wanted her to still like enjoy her time, but she always chose to like be there with me. She missed work. She had never spent that much time away from her family. She had never left excuse me. She had never left the country without her family. So all of those things, I noticed and I observed, and I wanted to make her, the one. Like, I wanted to be with her all the
That's
time.
so heartwarming,
Mhm.
dude, to hear that story of how how important it is to have people have your back
Mhm.
and at crucial times of your life.
Yeah.
It's it's a it's a ray of sunshine amidst of a storm that we're still enduring,
Mhm.
you know? So I'm really happy. I'm really happy that you have found someone that makes you feel that way because I've known you for 20 years, man. I know you deserve it. You've
Thank you.
you've always been a good guy. When you told me about what was going on, I I didn't know how to feel, man, because it hit home.
Mhm.
I went through this with my dad when he was like 40, 43, 44.
Mhm.
I must have been 5, 6 years old. He chose to be away from his family.
Yeah.
He chose to be come and make a living here in Chicago. And I just remember him coming home. He would come home like twice a year, particularly around the time where it used to snow a lot, so there was a lot of work. And he would just come like for Christmas. He'd come bearing gifts,
Mhm.
and that was like the first 4 or 5 years of my life.
Mhm.
And then one day he just said, "Oh, I'm here for good. I'm coming back for good." I'm like, "Oh man, that's so cool."
Yeah.
And then little did I know is that he had been diagnosed with um, prostate cancer,
Mm.
and he was the type of guy who just kind of like just balls to the wall kind of guy. Like he just worked and he would, I guess he would party, he would drink a lot. I think that's what really attributed to the issue. He drank a lot,
Yeah.
and just he was diagnosed. He came over here. He basically came to us to die. He never went to go get checked like they told him. But by
Mhm.
the time they told him they found it, it was too late. And he decided to just come home and die with his family. And that's exactly what happened. And so, you know, if he would have had that type of support that you had, maybe
Mhm.
things would have been a little different for him.
Mhm.
And well, yeah, that's what happened to my dad actually. And um then my brother, he because of my dad's death, he started having a thing called ulcerative colitis, which is like inflammation in your intestines
Mhm.
or in your colon in his case. And must have been 18. It was about 2007, 2008 when we found out. And the sucky part about that was that well, actually what happened was he got a appendicitis. So one day he just got appendicitis. We had to take him to the hospital, and out of nowhere they said, "Hey, we noticed something in your colon. You need to go." Same thing as with what happened with you.
Yeah.
Like 4 days later, he was scheduled for surgery,
Yeah.
and it was. I remember sitting at the doctor's office with him, and because he didn't speak a lot of English at the time, so the doctor basically said, "Hey, Marco, you have to tell your brother that he has cancer." And had had the way we went through it with my dad, like there was there was nothing I could tell him to make him feel better. And I told him, we broke down, we both started crying, and it was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to tell anybody, kind of just relaying the message. I mean, you went through it. It's something that you really can't explain.
Yeah, man. I'm really sorry to hear that, by the way. But yeah, I just remember when I was at the hospital and I was laying in bed, and just so many thoughts, man, going through your head. Like, how did I end up here? Why me? Why this? which I think everyone goes through.
Of course.
It's one of like it's like phase one, before the acceptance phase, of what's going on with you. And I just remember like my doctor coming in and he was just like, I don't want to waste any time, but I hate to say this, but you have cancer. You have, I forgot how many millimeters, how big the tumor was, but he was like, I'm gonna, I'm gonna call Dr. Pierce. He was the one that performed surgery on me, and he's like, we're gonna take good care of you. And then he told me right there and then too, this is a 95% curable thing. So I was happy that he first gave me the bad news and then hit me with some really good news right after, like,
Right.
hey, this is curable. Unfortunately, every male, has their peak, when this could happen and you're right there at its peak, you know. And yeah, man, like back to what, you were saying about like how do you tell someone that you have cancer? There's just no way, you know. You can't write it on a piece of paper. You can't like tell them in a certain tone. Like there's just no way, and especially when someone close, close to you, like
Somebody
like
that
your
you
brother.
love, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man. And growing up, like, I just remember your brother always took good care of you, man. He always backed you up, for everything. Sometimes, he'll get a little hard on you, because he had to discipline you, in some ways,
Mm-hmm.
because, like we heard, not too long ago, your father passed away. So I think Juan kind of took over that role, and tried to be like a good father, and
Yeah.
show
No,
you.
definitely, man. I think that he was uh the I guess the way I am
Mm-hmm.
has been me. It's what I've seen, right? It's so the last podcast that didn't actually air because of audio issues. I
Mm-hmm.
was talking to Greg about how the way I've learned how to deal with things in life
Mm-hmm.
has been by observing other people,
Mm-hmm.
because I never had the role model. Like my mom, she's did she went above and beyond for us. There's I'm so grateful for her,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a void that is missing. There's something that's missing, which was the relationship of between a father and a son,
Mm-hmm.
or like a father and a daughter.
Right.
It's just you she became the father too, but at the same time she had to get things done. She had to
Mm-hmm.
put money in the bank and food on the table,
Right.
and everything else was secondary,
Mm-hmm.
including you know um including like the advice, you
Right.
know and so I had to grow up learning from other people's mistakes, one, and then from the people around me,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually why I still have why this podcast became a thing, because I want to bring people in and I want to continue learning through them, but I also want to share that with the world.
Right.
And so, I learned from my brother. I mean, he's always been a hard worker. He did he's done his own thing. He's made his own little, like, he's leaving his own like legacy or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
which has been, everybody,
Yeah.
Juan's such a good guy. Oh, he's like, I've never heard anything bad about him.
Right.
Even in his issues, like there's issues, but still, even through the issues. And so I learned from him.
Yeah.
And so, he kind of, like you say, he kind of took over that father role in a way, and kind of nurtured me in that way. And for that, I'm forever thankful. And I mean, just going back to that day, man, I just couldn't believe
Mm.
it. I had a pause. I couldn't just tell him.
Yeah.
He's like looking at me like, so, like what's going on?
Yeah.
I told him. We broke down. 4 days later, he was in the operating room. They basically said that. So actually, he had been going to another hospital,
Mm-hmm.
getting checked for the, like, just getting tons of medicine, bro. Like,
Yeah.
when you said that, hospitals make more money by having cancer patients than they would by curing them. It makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
We were going to a hospital getting thousands of dollars of medicine for a thing that maybe through a small non-invasive surgery would have fixed. You know, we ended up going through the whole ordeal of him. I mean, dude, he came here, gosh, 2004, 2000, 2000. No. He came here 90, like 2000, like around the same time
Right
you
around
came.
the same time as me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had already had that issue for a long time in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, over there, he must have, like, all through his teens and then into his early 20s, he already had an issue with the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we took him to specialists. Apparently, they could never figure out what was wrong with him, so they just put him on meds. And then, you know, if he never
You don't
got
know what's wrong with you, but let's just make some money, you know?
right, man. If he didn't have that appendicitis, they would have never found it. And so, you know, he was in surgery. They said, "Hey, like, honestly, I don't know how you're still alive." That's basically what they told him.
Wow.
Like, you should be dead by now. Like,
That's
this
crazy,
doesn't
man.
just. I don't know how you're still alive. They basically took everything out.
Yeah.
And you know, the man, your doctor sounds like such a good doctor, bro.
Yeah, he so that was my ER doctor. You know, he was I forgot his name, but some Indian guy, you know, very like very straightforward, but at the same time, you know, kind of humble, you know, like cared, you know, he's not just treating me as another patient who's just, you know, on a bed, you know, just giving bad news. Cuz some doctors are like that, you know. Which brings up my doctor Pierce. You know, Dr. Pierce. He great doctor, did a phenomenal job with my surgery. I don't have any nerve pain or anything. The scar came out, you know, just fine. But he was very, very like dry. You know, when it came to,
Really?
you know, me first. Oh yeah, dude. Like I just remember going into the room, you know, just like knowing that I have cancer and like, what is this guy gonna tell me right now? And you know, he just comes in, doesn't say a single word. You know, my wife and I were in the room just waiting, and he just comes in, like, just takes a look at what's going on, and then he just goes back. Like he didn't really even like introduce himself. He just came in, looked through my chart. He's like, okay, I'm gonna take a look. And then he goes back to the folder and then he's like, okay, I have you set up for this date. You know, come in and we'll go ahead and perform surgery. And that was it. And then I was like, what? I was like, dude, like, do you want to explain things a little bit more? You know, like
what to
what I
expect,
have.
what's going
Yeah,
on.
like
Yeah.
maybe even possibly. I mean, it's very hard to predict how someone gets cancer, right? We don't know whether if it's food, whether if it's inherited, you know, or whatever. But you know, I was just kind of like really confused. Like, how can this guy just come in and just be like so dry with me, you know? But you know, he did a great job, and yeah, man, like when I first found out, it was just really hard just to like picture yourself 5 years from now or 10 years from now, you know, because like one, when I found out, I didn't really know how well of a how much of a cure rate it was until I did more and more research, and then I became a little bit better, you know, like a little bit less stressed.
Right.
But even now, it's like you still don't know what could happen, you know, because like your body went through something major, you know, and it recovered, but you don't really know how long that recovery could last, you know.
What the after effects are.
Exactly, because chemotherapy, you know, yeah, you know, it cured me, you know, from what they say, you know, but it also did a lot of damage, you know, like here and there. Like last night, I was telling my wife, I was like, you know, my leg kind of feels numb, you know, which is a normal side effect from chemotherapy. It's like the numbness, the ringing in your ear, which I've gotten used to by now, but it's something that could follow you for the rest of your life.
Right.
It just never goes away. Um, I've noticed like a few weeks go by and then like I won't feel anything and then it'll come back again. But like what scares me the most, man, is like it coming back, but it going somewhere else or me developing like a new type of cancer, because like what they say is once you get cancer, your odds of getting cancer again are a little bit higher, and depending what type of chemotherapy you got, it also raises risk for like other specific types of cancer.
Right.
So that's the hardest part about living, after cancer is just that
You
thought,
still have that thought at the back of your mind.
like I'm good, but I'm not good
Right.
because like now my body went through shock and it like it can go,
Both ways.
exactly.
Right. Yeah, I remember. So yeah, they performed surgery on my brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they basically said, hey, you have like cancer in your lymph nodes, on like the digestive, like all the lymph nodes that you have in your
Around
the
yeah.
digestive tract.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to remove everything,
Man,
and so
that's
he
tough.
just didn't know, he didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, he took it like a champ, just like you.
Mm-hmm.
Just he
Yeah,
was
Juan's
strong.
tough, man.
He was strong.
Mm-hmm.
He's been strong,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's all mental too, man.
yeah,
It's all mental.
it's a lot of like
Mentality,
mentality,
strength, for sure.
your will, your
Yeah.
will, your
Mm-hmm.
will to live. I'm sure
Yeah.
that had a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they removed everything. He went through chemo as well.
Mm.
I took him.
Yeah.
I drove with him. I used to just, I mean, it's not easy, dude. Going through the chemo, the sessions, they're like
No.
an hour, 2 hour long.
Yeah.
I remember just sitting there, just being by his side.
So you're lucky because during the pandemic, no one could be in the room with you. I had to do it by myself.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude.
And well, I was in the room by myself, but my wife, she waited for me outside during the whole time. So, for you to be next to your brother, like you guys are really lucky because that's what her and I had planned, like, hey, I'm gonna go with you every day. I'm gonna be in the room with you. She went with me on the first day and then we got to the counter. They're like, only one person can come in.
Right.
I was like, not even someone who's like, a significant other, like, what if she was my wife? Because at the time she wasn't.
Right, right.
And then they're like, unfortunately, we can't. So imagine how hard it is for that patient to go through.
Oh my god,
And
dude.
chemotherapy, man, is not fun whatsoever,
No,
man. The
dude.
first week wasn't so bad, but the second week and the third week, and finally the last week was like one of the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, bro.
I could imagine. I remember my brother just, he was depleted.
Mm-hmm.
It was like he wasn't there.
Yeah.
He was a little gone, like
Mhm.
mentally fatigued all
Everything.
day,
Everything.
nausea,
Mm-hmm.
Throwing up like all day.
He threw up.
Yeah.
That was, fortunately, I didn't throw up
No?
one time. No.
Like not.
I think
not,
his chemotherapy was a little bit stronger than mine.
Well, it might have. It might have
Mhm.
just because of the type of cancer.
Yeah.
And I remember like he like the hair started falling off, so
Oh,
he
yeah.
just shaved it,
Yeah.
and then all well, my other brothers, we all did. We just all shaved our head to support him.
I don't think I ever saw a picture. I hope you have them.
I have a
I've never
picture.
seen you with the.
I have a
buzz.
picture somewhere, dude. But I razored it.
No way.
Yeah. They just cut.
Straight
They
up got
buzzed
the
it.
razor blade.
Yeah, they buzzed it, and then
Yeah.
I just razored it.
So you're skin bald, yeah.
I was like skin bald
Wow.
for
I've never
like a
seen
month.
you, man, with short hair like that ever.
I looked pretty weird,
Yeah.
dude. And I had to go to work, and then I wore a bandana, and then like a hat, or I mean, dude,
But you were supporting your brother, man.
Yeah, man. It was just to show that he wasn't alone,
Right.
because I think that's the worst part. Having to go through it on your
man.
own.
Yeah.
Having the support that you had,
Mhm.
I'm sure, helped a lot, dude.
Oh man, dude. The support is everything. Not only from the people who are close to you, your family, your close friends. You reached out to me, And that was, it was big, man. Just to hear from like a friend, one of, I think you're the first friend that I made here in the US when I first moved from Brazil. In
And
that area, because I didn't have any friends when I lived at the other apartment. I had
mhm,
no friends there. And then at school, like I didn't really had friends. I didn't really have friends. I just had people who like I associated with,
right.
like just like during break, I didn't really know much about them. It wasn't until, we became friends, and then like, dude, you were always like super chill with me. I remember it was like you, me, and Julian for a while, and that
Dude,
was kind of a weird.
what?
Yeah, it
Dude,
was.
Julian. Dude,
Yeah,
that guy was a character. Like, just
yeah,
looking
man.
back, I mean,
He
I
was a
love the
little bit of
guy.
a troublemaker, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
He kind of got us
He
to do
was like the
some.
rebel of the, he's the one that got me into like the skating at first, and
Yeah.
he had like all the world industries,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
remember
the
that?
spiky hair, dude.
You remember he used to like put the highlights with
Yeah.
this with the what the lightning gel,
Yeah.
and then
Oh, yeah.
we followed suit.
The lightning gel, dude. Oh man, that just throws it way back, dude.
Dude, that lightning gel.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
I don't know,
That
man.
probably was so bad for us.
Oh yeah, dude. It's just probably why my hair is all screwed up now. No, that's my dad's fault and his dad's fault.
I know. I'm actually. I haven't. I'll show you.
Let's see.
I still have a
Oh,
decent
dude,
hairline, dude.
dude, you got the best, man. Like right now, see what I mean? But hey, after cancer, this is not bad, dude.
It's not, dude.
No, it's
Your
not.
beard's looking
Oh yeah,
legit.
dude.
It
Yeah,
filled in. Look at that.
yeah, dude. The beard came back 100%. That for sure happened. But I'm okay with how I look, man. It's how God made it to be.
You accepted it,
Exactly,
dude. I
dude.
have some
You
friends,
have to accept it, bro. If you don't have good hair genes, just freaking shave it off.
dude.
Like I'm getting close to it. The reason why I haven't done it yet is because like I'm okay with the way it looks,
It doesn't look bad.
No, like if once it starts bothering me about like my what do you call the widow's peak,
Uh huh.
then I'll just shave it off because I already know how I look. Cancer, like I had no hair, dude, like completely smooth, like my hand, like,
Yeah.
and it was fine. I didn't
And
care.
then, but you also have a good shaped head. Some
Oh,
people aren't that lucky.
oh yeah, and then you got the rolls, like the rolls on the back here, like that's tough, man.
That's tough.
Yeah, if you're there or if you look like that, you're wearing a hat most of your life,
Yeah.
unless you accept that too, And I see a lot of people who walk around, confident, the way they look, bald head, whatever, rolls, whatever it is, and you gotta, most people, you have to try to obtain that confidence,
You have to make do with what you got,
Yeah.
you know?
And just accept it, be happy, and your whole life will be better like that, dude.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
this whole time, dude, my early 20s, I was like, "Oh man, like I'm never going to have a beard." And slowly, like my brothers didn't get a beard till they were like
Mhm.
around this age.
Yeah.
Like Juan, if you see him now, he's got like a full beard now.
Mm.
But he's like 40.
Yeah.
So if it takes me to 40, or if
Yeah.
if I never get it, whatever, dude. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just rocking what I got, the
Yeah.
stash,
Yeah, dude, just work with what you have.
and yeah, man, dude.
Honestly, dude, not having a beard is probably not so bad. You don't get the bumps, from shaving. You don't have to spend that much time. And, like you just showed me, dude, you have a great head of hair, great set of hair, and it's just rock it, Just
I know
rock with what you got.
today
and-
I'm wearing a hat because
Hmm.
I mean I showered and everything, but I didn't have enough time to get all that detail.
Style it, yeah. It is Sunday, we're just laid back. So
That's also a part of it.
yeah.
So, dude, what's
Hmm.
something? I mean, how excited are you
Hmm.
to have a baby girl?
Oh man. Mixed emotions for sure, man. A lot of it is excitement, a little bit is a little like you get worried, about like, the delivery, you get worried about that, you hope that everything goes well. And then just like the pandemic too, like with everything
Oh
that's
yeah,
going
man.
on, man, like pandemic baby, it's very stressful.
That is,
You know,
I can't
so
imagine. That's
yeah.
right, dude.
So like when we found out, man, we were both like not really. I mean, yeah, we were a little bit surprised, definitely, but just cuz like what I had,
Right.
and then she has something that kind of complicates pregnancy,
Mhm.
but that's why, we're calling this this baby of ours it's a miracle baby, man. Cuz I had cancer, I had surgery, and then like we were still able to produce a baby,
Look at you, man.
I I
Look at you.
I know, man. Like I'm telling you, this year has just been crazy, man. Like beginning of the year was surgery, the cancer, the treatment, the baby news. It's like all in one year, man. Not that many people go through that many things in one
That's
year.
so
And then the
crazy.
COVID, and then just everything together, man. It's just been one crazy
So
year.
a lot of
But
people say, when is 2020 gonna end? And
oh
maybe at
yeah,
the beginning it was a little rough for you, but now, you're kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with these news,
oh
and
yeah.
you guys are expecting. You said 2 months from now.
Yeah, she's
Oh
due
man,
like end of November, early December, like around there.
this
December
is
7th is the day, but it's like sometimes it's a week before, 2 weeks, or a week after.
Christmas baby, dude.
Yeah, and that month it's gonna be crazy because she has a big family, and there is a birthday almost every single day of that week and the week after the first week of November or December. So that first week of December, there's a birthday almost every day, or like there's two or three birthdays in one day, and then the week after that's the same thing.
Are
So,
there any other babies in your wife's siblings in that household?
no,
Oh,
mm-mm.
is it the first one? Oh man,
Yeah,
dude,
she
lucky.
has I know, man. She has one older sister, 2 years older, but she's probably gonna she just graduated from CVU,
Hmm.
and she's a RN now. She's a nurse, and she's just like just living life, man. She wants to be a travel nurse, so if she ever does want to have a family, I can see it probably happening in like 3 to 5 years, maybe.
Okay.
Because she's definitely just like living her life right now, like, living her best life. For sure.
Little Duval right there.
Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, back to what I was saying. Yeah, we're very excited. In 2 months, the baby will be here, and it's just gonna be a very busy time of the year,
What a roller
cause
coaster, man.
yeah, dude,
But
but the roller coaster is, it's at its top right now. It's at its peak. We're just enjoying the view right now. Everything seems so much brighter. I'm back to work. I'm making money. I mean, I was getting disability, but it's nice to go back to work and earn for your money again. And
which is that's actually interesting that you have that type of mentality.
yeah,
A
man.
lot of people.
Oh, dude, I can't sit at home all day and just like watch a little bit of money come in. Like, no, like I have to go to work, earn my money. Like I'm in sales, so there's no cap to how much I can make. So the harder I work, the more money I can make.
Míralo.
So yeah, man.
Nice. That's so cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool that you have this type of mentality. I'm telling you, a lot of people don't think that way. It's especially now, papi is kind of holding your hand.
Mm-hmm.
There's a limit of how much you can make, but
Mm-hmm.
it's coming in, and a lot of people are just comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, how many times, in the last 20, 25 years, did we get to sit at home and get a $1,200 check
Right,
and an extra 600 every week? Who's not going to take that?
of course.
It,
Yeah, it's
but
also a good break. Like I said at the
yeah.
beginning, it's a good break. A lot of people, it was just the weekends, if
Mm-hmm.
that, depending on what type of work you did.
Yeah.
But now it's like
Yeah. And it
it's been a
was,
it's been a it's been a it's been a 10 month break
I
for a lot of
know.
people.
Yeah. Too long of a break. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It was nice in the beginning. Like in March, I had just come back from Brazil with my wife, and just it was nice not knowing we didn't have to go back to work. Because there's, have you ever heard of the saying, you need a vacation from your vacation?
A
You come
hundred
back to
percent.
work
Yeah.
like a day after you just got back from like Mexico or Brazil. It's like
Right.
it's the worst feeling ever, man. Those days that you enjoy, like all of a sudden, it's like, it's like, man, I'm back to work again. It's like I need to relax for at least like a couple days before you get back into that grind, you know?
Especially traveling. Like, you know, you
Oh,
travel there. It's how many hours on a plane? Like
24 hours to get there, bro. It's a
oh my god, dude.
24 hours, dude. And that's if you get a decent flight plan. You can
Yeah.
get a better one, but you know, you got to cough
What
up a little bit more
what's like
money.
the itinerary? You have to stop by where?
Usually, you fly out of LAX. If you want to get the 18-hour flight plan, you have to you go from LA to São Paulo to where I'm from, which is
Mm-hmm.
Maringá, and that's usually about 18 hours. But I usually get, you know, the less expensive one, which requires another flight. And now it's usually from like here to Texas or Florida, and then from Florida to São Paulo, and then Maringá.
Damn,
But so
dude.
within all that, it's a 24-hour trip because I spent a lot of time in São Paulo. For some reason, every time you get to São Paulo, you can't ever get a connection flight within 2 to 3 hours. You have to wait 8 hours
What a pain.
in the airport, bro. Like, honestly, I know that airport better than I do with than a lot of things, dude. Because I spent so much
Yeah.
time there, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. You know,
That's so crazy.
yeah. It's I think the least I've spent there was like 6 hours.
And it's the same on the way back?
Yeah, same thing on the way back.
Dude.
It's crazy.
My boss, my now partner, he's from Vietnam,
Okay.
but he used to, before this whole COVID thing hit, he used to commute. He has his family here.
Yeah.
So imagine commuting every other month. You know, you fly there, you fly back, you fly there, you fly back, then you fly to Vegas, you fly to Europe for conventions. But I used to see him go back and forth, 18-hour flights, just back and forth every month.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did it, dude. I don't know how that guy like did it. And I'm sure when things get better, when the travel industry picks up,
Yeah.
back at it again.
Oh yeah. It takes a toll on you, man, for sure. Like that's why I mean it's not the reason why, but if I were to go to Brazil once a month, man, I'd be so tired. I'd be
Dude,
so tired.
24 hours just to get there, and it's like
Yeah.
you have to, you know, I would say you spent the whole week there. But let's say you're a first time traveler. Would you
Mhm.
spend a week or 2 weeks?
If I was going there for the first
First time.
time, knowing how long it takes there, I would probably want to spend 2 weeks.
I would imagine, you know,
Yeah.
you fly out like maybe
It's
like
too far for 1 week, dude. Because think
Right?
about it, 24 hours to get there, and then you gotta get accustomed to the time, right?
Yeah, you
That's
have
another
lag.
day.
Yeah.
You know, you got the jet lag, so
Mhm.
you're already 2 days deep, and you haven't even started what you want to do, or you know what you have planned.
Yeah, that makes sense. 2 weeks would sounds.
And then you add 1 day back, so you're already 3 days out of the 7 days of your vacation. You have 4 days to enjoy your time.
Dude, 2 weeks. That's where it's
You
at.
have to do 2 weeks. My dad wouldn't go there for 2 weeks, even if I paid his ticket. He wouldn't go because 2 weeks is just not enough time.
So
You can't even like see everyone.
Yeah. What do you
can't.
do? Like a month? Couple of months?
Well, I usually do 2 weeks, sometimes a little bit more. You know, that's just because of like work
Because of
and
work,
school.
right.
You know, I'm still finishing up school, so I can't leave for that long. But yeah, man, like I think 3 weeks for me is like the right amount of time. It lets me see everyone a couple of times, you know, so we get to, you know, have dinner, breakfast, you know, whatever we want to do, you know, with the same people. I get to see my friends, uh, go to the river, you know, spend a day or two there. So for me, 3 weeks is probably like the best, you know.
That's like the right amount.
Yeah, just the right amount. 4 weeks, then I start to feel like, because remember how I said, I like to be here, make money, you know, I like to be active, you know what I
Right,
mean? So
right.
after just like sitting at home or sitting, you know, at my mom's house or wherever I'm at in Brazil, you know, for a month is just like a little too much.
Yeah,
It's
like
nice.
it's like it's nice to relax, but you need to get back to the
Yeah.
to your
To your normal life.
to your normal life.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And, you know, it's nice to be with your grandparents, you know, because my grandparents are very special to me. They took care of me growing up. You know, my grandma, who
Dude,
to this
absolute
day
sweetheart.
she
I love her,
still
dude.
asks about you and your mom. Till this day, man.
That's
She'll
so sweet,
if I
man.
bring you up, she'll bring up your mom as well. Like, how
That's
is
so
she
sweet,
doing?
man.
And I don't know if you remember, but remember how she used to record us, like just hanging out at the house, playing video games? Dude, we don't know where those tapes went, but we're still looking for them.
Dude,
We're still
dude,
looking for them.
my mom used to have the same. She,
Yeah.
she had the big bazooka type of camera.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the one? Like it was like the perfect. Like back then, it was like one
Yeah.
of the best cameras you could get.
Mm-hmm.
But you had to hold it on your shoulder.
Yeah.
And I don't, dude. I was actually looking for the tapes.
Were you?
There was one where she recorded me like dancing to Vida Loca with the Mundial in 2000
Oh yeah,
or the
yeah.
99. I forget what year it was.
Somewhere around.
I was like dancing to that Ricky Martin, and I was just looking for all those tapes. There's a bunch of us when there was some when we played soccer. There were some when we were at birthday parties.
Mm-hmm.
I still have like pictures of us back then.
Nice. You gotta show me those, dude, because I think I only have one picture of us.
I have to pull them up, dude.
And that's the one with you, me, and Julian. I think I sent it to you a few years ago.
I think you sent it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were like trick or treating or something. Was it? Were we trick or treating that day? No, we
that
weren't.
one was for my birthday.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I was turning
close to Halloween, so it makes sense. Why
I think I turned 12 that day. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's right around this time.
Yep.
Yeah, it was right around this time.
Yeah, man. I had the buzz cut. You and Julian had the long hair.
Oh, I know, dude. Julian had that spiky hair forever.
Yeah.
I ran into him like 6 years ago, 7 years ago at Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
Like, the Indiana Jones ride?
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah,
how the people get off and then you get on?
Mm-hmm.
They go like on one side and then you go on through the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Well, through the transition, it was him and his girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit, man, what's up?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, dude, what the hell?" And I didn't have enough time to get his number.
Mm-hmm.
So, otherwise he would have like done a little reunion. I think maybe Latimer might have his number.
Probably.
I'll see if maybe I can get like that old group back together for a day.
That would be really cool,
It'd
man.
be really cool.
Just imagine just getting the old crew back again,
To shoot the shit and hang out.
It'd be like, like an episode of Friends, man, like a reunion,
Yeah, it'll be really cool.
Yeah.
I hope to do that with you guys.
Yeah.
So I mean, right now you're recovering, you're feeling good?
Oh yeah, man. 100%.
I'm really happy to hear that, bro.
100%. Thank you.
There's a lot of things to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
You're entering a new chapter in your life, becoming a dad, which I think, I don't know. My wife hates me right now because she's like, "Oh, we gotta. I want kids.
She wants the next step, huh?
Yeah. But I just got her a puppy, and she's only 9 months old. I told her like, "Hey, I just got you a puppy.
Here's some practice.
Give me another year."
Yeah.
So I'm there.
Yeah, man.
I know a lot of people say you can't be prepared, but
there's no perfect time.
There's you can kind of prepare for some things.
Yeah.
Whether it's financially, maybe get a place that's a little bit more permanent.
Mm-hmm.
That will help. I mean, I loved being at the apartments, man, but I never saw my mom. I never saw her because she was always working.
Yeah.
And she was working to pay the rent. So if I can do something to change that for my kids, it's at least have something more permanent to where it'll feel more like home instead of a place that's not yours.
Right.
That because, dude, I've been here for 24 years, bro.
Mm-hmm.
In the U.S. Like, when am I gonna have a permanent home? I've lived everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with the village, I've lived in like all the apartments there.
Yeah,
and on every corner. Remember, I lived in every corner of that place.
Yeah, I think I still remember like your original spot. It was in the same area as Julian, right? And you lived on the bottom. Wasn't on the bottom? Is that, or maybe you were in a different one before? But when I met you, I think you were at that spot right there.
Yeah, yeah. Because when I first moved there, we had a studio
Uh-huh.
by it was towards the end of the where the exit the studios up there.
Mm-hmm.
We had a studio up there. Then we moved over with where by Julian.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
that was your second spot then.
that was
Yeah.
like the second.
Okay.
Must have been the third spot because
Really?
we actually when we moved there was with my cousin.
Oh, okay.
So we moved in with my cousin, and then we got our own place there and a
Yeah.
studio, and then we moved into an apartment over by where Julian was, and I've been in every corner of that place.
I know how that feels, man. I've moved around a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lived with my aunt, with my cousin, on my own. I lived with a good friend of mine, Daniel, for a month. You know, in transition of finding a place. And then I lived on my own for not on my own, but like I rented a room. You
Right.
know, that was for almost a year, and then that's when I met Delia, and then I moved in with her this year. Yeah, a couple of months ago. So
Oh,
I know how
congrats,
that
man.
feels, man. I know how that feels to move around a lot.
Orange County is kind of cool that way. You
Mhm.
know, it doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
There's everything around you, which is nice. I guess that's the comfort of living here in Southern California,
Mhm.
Orange County. We live
Mhm.
in this bubble. You know, I lived in all over Santa Ana. We moved to. I used to live in Anaheim. Went to Orange. Now we're here in Fullerton. But Orange County has always been good to me, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where I've lived.
Yeah. Orange
It's always
County is
been home.
great, man. Besides the rent. The rent's crazy expensive.
It's
that's
super expensive.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only bad part about Orange County. Just
See,
the price of
the
living.
thing is, man,
Cost of living.
the cost of living is really
Yeah.
expensive, but it's not even just the cost of living, or the basic necessities.
Mhm.
It's the taxes are so high.
Oh yeah.
Just they call it the sunshine tax.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
No, it's the first time
No?
actually.
So now you know why. It's a
Mhm.
sunshine tax. We're paying for the weather.
Oh, okay.
Which, by the way, dude, this is bullshit,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
It's been like 100 degrees.
Yeah, we
this
should
whole
be
week.
paying less, dude.
We should be getting it prorated.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just been way too hot, man. And Riverside, don't even get me started with that, man. It's been like 120 degrees almost every single day for like the last month and a half. It's finally starting to go down, but yeah, it's been super hot, man.
Yeah.
But Riverside ain't that bad, man. I kind of like, the vibe there. It's very chill, like we're the part that we live, And for me, luckily, like the times that I work, I don't really hit traffic coming down because I work 2 to 10. So
Where, like what area you working here in Orange County?
yeah, John Wayne Airport.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, working
Dude.
for same company, Avis Budget.
Cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I told you, one of our office is nearby. I don't know how we never connected when we were over there.
Yeah. We tried to get lunch one time, man, but we couldn't get lunch at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were right next to me.
next to you.
Yeah, you worked there for how long? For how long again?
Well, technically speaking, I'm still working
Oh,
with the same guy, but
Mm-hmm.
we're working remotely
Mm-hmm.
because of the whole COVID thing.
Right.
So it's like, what's the point of having a suite where, everyone's kind of paranoid. It's a shared area,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's just there's been a lot of changes, I guess.
Yeah.
But we still have the office there. We still have the office. It's just we just rented it out to other people. We have
Nice.
tenants.
Yeah.
But it's I guess this is the new normal. I wonder
Yeah, man.
wonder when we're gonna go back.
Oh no. Wonder when Trump's gonna go back to normal,
Dude.
with his.
I just heard about that.
Yeah, man. Trump has COVID.
Yeah, that's so. It's like we're living in a movie, dude.
Yeah.
Right?
For him to get it right after the debate, dude, isn't that kind of weird?
That's really weird.
All this time he's been saying how fake it is, and then now, like, he's got it. There's no way he can say it's fake news anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude.
yeah. I'm not really into politics, but I just find it funny how the way things have been going, this year. Just like
dude.
I've never witnessed something like this before. I'm sure you haven't, and I ask customers all the time, people who are older than me, probably more knowledgeable, and they just like shocked, man, for us to see a debate like that, man, where they were just like going at it like kids, and they
Yeah.
couldn't like give each other at least 2 minutes to talk. And,
It was almost like a disservice to America because
yeah.
what Americans, as an American, what we want are answers,
Mm-hmm.
and all we got was bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's fine that you both don't like each other,
Mm-hmm.
but what are you both gonna do to help?
Right.
And honestly, man, I'm not feeling comfortable with either. Or like,
I was just gonna say, man, I'm not a fan of either Biden or Trump. This is like another Trump and Hillary thing.
Yeah. I mean, they say, Trump is, well, it's a thing that I don't even want to get into because
Right.
it's politics.
Yeah.
Because I have my own opinions about it. And honestly, dude, I'm just like everybody else, I'm just kind of observing what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what's going on anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I am not surprised. When they said Trump had COVID, not surprised.
Yeah. Eventually he was gonna get it.
Yeah. And not just him, but like, dude, they're both of them. They're old, dude. They're like 77, 80.
Mm-hmm.
What if Biden got it? Like,
yeah, he was very close to Trump, so hopefully Biden. I haven't heard from Biden either. He hasn't really come out since the debate. He hasn't said anything.
Dude, I honestly, I haven't even paid any attention to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really like watch the news. I have like the Yahoo News on my phone, so like every once in a while, like a major story will pop up, and I'll just like quickly
read it.
Yeah, just like quickly go over, see what's going on. But yeah, man, like I've never really like followed politics. I don't really have much to say just because like it doesn't really go anywhere. It always takes you back to square one. It's
Right.
like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. And they say so many things about like what they're gonna do, and then like it just never happens. So it's like, so my question is, who's really controlling it? You know what I mean? If it's not the president, who's really,
And actually,
Mhm.
on that note,
Mm-hmm.
Greg and I, we have another. Well, it's the same podcast, just a different series called
Right.
Rabbit Hole series,
Yeah,
where
I've
we
seen
get in,
one.
where we get into different topics and we just kind of dive deep into it. And
You gotta invite me for that one, dude.
oh man, you're welcome to come anytime. We have a third microphone.
Oh, nice.
We have we have a full setup. Next time we have one, I'll definitely shoot you a text.
Cool.
So you can join us for that one. But I was gonna ask you, just getting off the topic of politics, but I was gonna ask you something about if you follow the UFC at all.
UFC. No, not really. But every time there's a big fight, like someone's gonna have a party, So I only watch the major fights.
Okay. The reason why I was wondering was because of the last one with Paulo Costa and Stylebender. Well, Paulo, he's from Brazil.
Oh, okay.
So I was just wondering if you had a chance to watch that fight or not.
No, I didn't see it, man.
No, because essentially what happened was Paulo was just talking a lot of trash, and he got handled in there.
Really?
But it was just a little.
It happens, man. Usually when the shit talker, keeps yapping, he's the one that's gonna get beat up.
Yeah.
The one that I am looking forward to, it's not UFC, it's the Mike Tyson fight.
Oh my gosh.
Mike Tyson.
I'm so excited, bro.
Dude, I will pay $500 to see that fight.
Oh my god, dude. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's one fight that I'm waiting on for sure. I want to see that because Mike Tyson, man, he was a beast back in his day. A total beast. Like, I would do almost anything to not get punched by that guy, dude. Like, I will probably eat dog shit before getting hit by Mike Tyson in the face. That's that
dude.
guy
Have you seen him training?
Oh yeah, his training videos are scary, dude. His training videos are scary.
50 years. He's what?
In his 50s.
2 years old.
Probably, yeah, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there,
In
right?
his 50s, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's coming back, dude.
54, I think. He might be 50. I don't know. Somewhere around mid 50s, early
Yeah.
50s.
Yeah, he's coming back full throttle, dude. He's gonna.
It's like he never left. Like the way and I think he had like a bunch of interviews where he was talking to a few people where he said that um the reason why he stepped away from the ring was because he didn't like the person who he was in the ring.
Right.
It was like it was all or nothing. He was out there to kill people.
Yeah.
And if you look at his fights and the way that his opponents looked after the fights, yeah, he did exactly that. It's like they hit a car. Like
yeah.
it was like a car hit him just at full speed, dude.
Yeah,
he just went through people left and right.
Yeah, man. I feel like, the way the fighters view Tyson is like being in the wild and having like a lion just staring at you, dude. Like, like you don't know what to do, man. Like
that's such a good analogy,
dude. Because if you look at his face, like before the fight and even during the fight, that guy
he was gonna eat you alive.
Yeah, bit some dude's ear off, like literally, dude. I'm telling you, he's a freaking lion, man.
Yeah, dude.
Like I would be so scared to be in the ring with that guy. I'd be scared just looking at him. Not even the punches. The punches too, but I'd be scared of just seeing him in the ring with me. That guy, he just looked mean. And, like you said, like he didn't like the way he felt, maybe the way he carried that look around with him. So it's almost like someone being on steroids, it changes all your hormones, your chemical balance is just thrown off. And, he didn't like the person he was outside of the ring, which is why he stepped off, smoked weed, to calm him down, and now he's off of it because he needs to train. But yeah, man, Mike Tyson, that's gonna be one crazy fight, man.
Yeah, I'm so happy that it's happening again, where we can watch it live. Like back then, like when he used to fight, I mean, I don't even think he had a fight when I was here. I don't think there was ever a fight. I think it was over by the time that I came here.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what year his last fight was. Do you? I don't remember. Yeah, I can search it up really quick.
Yeah, I want to say, I don't know, man, like late 90s. Yeah, by that time I came here, I'm not sure if he was still fighting. Maybe like early 2000s. I'm not sure.
I don't remember, dude. I just remember oh, look at that. Mike Tyson's last fight made for particularly painful viewing, June 11th, 2005.
Wow. Okay.
But I don't remember that. I don't remember that fight, dude.
What were you doing in 2005?
Dude, 2005, I was
in
high school
grade. Yeah, you think
I was in high school. You were in 8th grade.
Yeah. I was in 8th grade. I was at middle school, and then you were at Foothill, right?
Yeah. I was in Foothill.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't think I was really interested in watching that, know, because my whole life was just soccer and that's it.
Right.
I didn't even have time to go home and watch TV,
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you just from school to practice and
it's gonna be interesting, dude, for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait, man.
I wonder if they're gonna delay it though, because of everything that's happening. It could be delayed.
You mean with the whole COVID thing?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, they're going to have them go.
Yeah. I mean,
they'll just test them before.
The
and
the UFC fights, the way they've been held, and if boxing follows suit, it's, there's no audience. There's no audience. It's literally just the fighters and their team.
Right.
And that's it. They all get tested.
Oh, okay.
Like following up to the fight.
Yeah.
And then fight day, I think.
Nice.
And if they're able to pull this one through, man, it's gonna be one for one for the books.
Yeah. So, what's your prediction of this fight? Do you think he's gonna knock him out within a minute?
Well, they said that they're doing this for charity, right? And that they're gonna not go crazy,
right?
But knowing the way that Tyson is,
what if he's changed though? Do you think he's still gonna go for the kill?
It's like having a great white shark who became docile. They maybe plucked them out of the ocean, and they put him in SeaWorld, and he's just swimming around with the other fish, and everybody knows he's a great white shark,
Yeah.
and they respect him for that, but he's not eating you because he's being hand fed. Now, you put him in the ocean next to like some seals in his natural habitat. You can't expect him to not eat those things. Like,
oh yeah,
the first smell of blood, he's going after you until he eats you alive.
Yeah. And I think he just wants to keep his reputation, as Mike Tyson, like the guy who knocks you out, flat on your back, dazed and confused,
Yeah.
Straight up, dude.
Yeah, man.
So
yeah. A lot of good things are happening now this year. I'm really happy, Tiago, that you're still here with us. I hope that, we get to grow old together, friends, complaining about the kids later in life.
Oh yeah. I'm
sure we'll be having, going through some of the similar things that we've made our parents go through. I'm honestly, man, I'm just happy that you're here. I'm happy that you're kicking cancer's ass. To be honest, dude, it's like, what else can we say? It's like, fuck cancer. And the people that, whether it's controlled or not, I think that the amount of research, the money that goes into cancer, like, we need better answers. Like, and this is funny, dude, because if Trump or Biden were to say, you know what, this year, I'm going to just, as your president for the next 4 years, my whole thing is going to be, curing cancer. Imagine that. How many people would jump on their campaign?
That's
how many people would they win over? Whether they're Democrat or Republican or independent, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's not a political thing. It's a human thing. And it's something that's affected many lives. Luckily, everything worked out with you so far. But, hadn't it been the case, I'm sure that, would have been something that I would have carried all my life. Just, I don't know, man. It's a really tough subject for me because a lot of my loved ones have been affected by it. Friends and family, and it's been something that it's been really tough, especially when I heard it. When I heard the news with you, it was I didn't know what to think, man. It was definitely a scary point in life, and yeah, man, it's just I don't know. I'm just really happy that you're still here and that you're staying strong, and I can't wait to meet your baby.
Thank
and
you,
I can't wait to meet your wife. I don't think I've met her yet.
No, not yet, but you will soon.
Sure. When things get better, when your baby comes, and anything you'll need, man, you just let me know.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
So I guess do you have anything else you want to talk about? You want to close out the podcast? What are you thinking?
I think we covered everything, man. This is a great conversation. We talked everything from friends, health, even a little bit of politics, which, I think you and I are in the same boat. We don't really like to talk about it too much. But, as a first time, doing this, I had a lot of fun. Definitely invite me for one of the rabbit hole series.
Oh, yeah,
man.
Yeah,
because that one should be interesting. I've never met Craig, so it'll be cool to meet him too that day.
Yeah, if you have any like particular topics that you want to go over, let me know. So basically, what we do here is we set up like a projector on that screen.
Okay.
And then that way, we can talk, but also kind of just dive in deep into the web, into the darkest parts of the interweb.
Yeah, man.
Last time we did one with the whole Disney, the untold truth of Disney. And,
I was just about to mention that.
When we were going through it, man, I was just like, man, like I remember growing up with like Disney movies and everything Disney, and here, all along there was a bunch of things we didn't know, and it's
some like subliminal messages, man. Some dark ones probably.
Dude.
As a kid, we don't see it, but when you're mature and your brain, matures, you get to see that. It's like,
It's like,
What?
man, how did my mom allow me to, and the thing is that she didn't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's fun chasing the truth,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll definitely have you over. So we'll close out today's podcast with the heart of the Buddha. Again, Tiago, thank you so much for joining me here. It's
Thank
been
you
a
for having me.
pleasure. I've had a lot of fun just kind of reconnecting and yeah, man, just the conversation was wonderful. I hope a lot of people they just appreciate this conversation for what it is. It's kind of bringing all the a lot of the issues that we face as humans. We've kind of brought them up to light. I know a lot of people have had even if it wasn't like in your family, but friends, somebody that has been affected by cancer.
Right.
And on that note, maybe it's reach out to your nearest foundation of cancer research and donate a little bit of money because of those people, because of the research that we've had. I mean, I know it's maybe not the best, but in your case, it worked.
Right.
In the case of my brother, it worked. And so they're not totally useless. At least there's that.
Mm-hmm.
So reach out, spread the cancer awareness,
Yeah.
To your family and friends. And if you're a male in particular, don't be scared to go get checked. Actually, man, I
was just going to mention.
I went to a physical this week.
Right.
And I told my doctor, I'm like, well, I think it's just time to get checked, the prostate checked,
Yeah.
But it's funny that he told me, he's like, oh, those things, like the way they used to do it, putting a finger in your butt. Apparently, that's not the best way to check anymore because from what I understood from him was you check the prostate, but from the backside. But if you were to have prostate cancer, it's on the other side of that wall. So it's best to go get checked, just like do your blood work, then see if there's any markers.
Yeah.
And so
it's the best way of doing it.
It's the best way to do it now. So guys, if you're scared to go get checked because they're gonna put a finger in your butt, that's not an excuse anymore.
Yeah, no.
Just go get checked.
Yep. Yeah, man, real quick before we wrap things up, I was always that person, dude, always afraid to go getting checked. My theory was, one way you don't get cancer is by not checking if you have cancer.
Oh my God.
That's one way of not getting it, and that's how I always, thought. But
oh my God. Tom.
Yeah, dude. Someone told me that and I was like, dude, that's genius, but stupid at the same time. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So like, dude, I'll be honest with you, bro. I think I've gone maybe like 1 or 2 physicals my whole life. I've always just like played it as if I feel good, I'm good. Right. I don't have to go to the doctor. I don't have to, get injected with anything I don't need. I don't have to be taking any pills I don't need to take, So my thing was just like, if I'm good, I'm good, And it was like that until I started to feel those symptoms, and then I was like, okay, I have to go get checked. And now, dude, I'm checking once a month, maybe even twice a month, depending how I feel.
Right.
And even my doctors are like, dude, you don't have to do this. Like, you can go once every 3 months. I'm like, no, I'm going every month.
Yeah,
dude.
Just to be safe,
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it's like, I don't care if I'm paying for it, if my insurance is paying for it. Like, I'm going once a month because anything happens, I want to catch it at the very beginning, dude.
Right.
And
you're being proactive and as a guy, it's like you said, it's like, if I feel good, I'm good.
Yeah.
But it's the stupidest way of thinking because things, from what I've, in my own experience, what I felt sometimes, like my vision, okay? I'm like, it's not mandatory that I wear glasses all the time, but it's definitely, I have like a small, like, what do they call it? A
stigmatism,
something like that. Stigmatism.
Yeah, something like that.
A slight stigmatism in one of my eyes, and it kind of forces the other one to focus more, and it just strains the other eye.
Okay.
So it wasn't until I was like driving at night, I'm like, oh man, I can't see that sign anymore.
Yeah.
far away, you know.
Yeah.
And like this whole time, I'm like, well, I know where I'm going. I don't need glasses. Like I know where I'm going. I know what the exits are. I know it. It's the stupidest way of thinking. You know, when you should have just gotten checked. I should have just gotten checked early on, and maybe it wouldn't have been as bad.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like, I wear glasses because of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just why am I going to strain it? Like now, I understand. Like, you know, just because you know or you feel that you feel good,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. And you can't be scared about going to go get checked, you know, not knowing like, okay, what if I do have it? You know, you want to know in the beginning rather than knowing at the very end of that phase, you know, like, oh, now it's too late.
Exactly,
So
man.
you're just doing yourself wrong, you know?
Yeah, that's what happened to my dad, man. He was shy about going to the doctor, whatever, getting checked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had he done it,
yeah,
you know, it would have been a different story.
Yeah, and who knows for what reason that was, you know, whether if he thought he was like a macho man, you know, like I can just, you know, work this out, you know, go to
walk
the gym,
it off.
There you
like
go.
the traditional, you know, male thinking was, if you get hurt, just walk it off and
rub some dirt on it or something. You know, it's not.
There's some things that you can't do. You know, you have to go get checked. You have to go to these physicals. You know, it's like going to the dentist. Like some people, they don't like the dentist, but you still got to go do it because, you know, it's something that you have to do.
Right.
You know?
Even, you know, if your gums look pink, they're not bleeding, your teeth are white, whatever it is, you still need to go.
You still got to go.
Because there could be something in the back that you can't see that's developing, you know, cancer.
Right.
And they need to catch it before your tooth falls off.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yeah, man. It's, I guess that's a good way of ending it. Like, guys, go get checked. It doesn't matter if you feel good. Just go get checked, man. It doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't hurt you. It takes a little bit of, you know, and it's an inconvenience for one of your days out of 365 days you have in a year.
Yep. And if you're scared to go alone, grab a friend and go with, you know, grab your dad, mom, whoever it is, you know. I'm sure, you know, even if you don't have a close relationship with your mom or dad, I'm sure they would want to go to the hospital with you. Yeah. You know. So I think that's one way of overcoming that fear of going to go get checked. Yeah. Is not going alone.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it too.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks so much. Let's hopefully, you know, the men in this community, and not just the men, but the women also, you know, I know the women have a lot of I mean, the more I see like how women are, it's like they have to go through a lot of shit. And so, you know, with the whole bearing children comes a lot of, well, let me put it this way, with the ability of creating life,
right?
You know, and how wonderful that is, they also have to bear a lot of inconveniences, a lot of pain, a lot of
changes to the
body, a lot of hormonal imbalances, and I think they're more prone to cancer than men. I don't know if that's true.
Breast cancer is definitely something that women are at higher risk than guys are. So to put it this way, my odds of getting testicular cancer was 1 out of 250. That's like 0 point something percent. And I got cancer from it.
Wow.
Yeah. Women are a little bit higher. You know, I think like, I don't know the statistics, but I know it's greater than 1%. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, it's breast and then ovarian cancer. I mean, just cancer, man.
Sad.
Just go get checked.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And we're going to close out this podcast with excerpt from Heart of a Buddha. And here we go. The gift of truth overcomes all gifts. The joy of truth overcomes all pleasures. The taste of truth overcomes all sweetness. The loss of desire overcomes all sorrows. And with that, thank you guys for joining me on today's special podcast with my good friend Tiago. I am sure he'll be back on this podcast in the future. If you guys have any questions in regards to the whole, you know, process of dealing with cancer. If you guys have any support, maybe I'll put his IG link in the bio of this video, and you guys can go search him up. And I'm sure you told me you're willing to kind of
Oh yeah, man.
help with spreading the word of guys wanting to not getting checked, and it's
Yeah,
something that you want to kind of share with the world. So
absolutely.
um yeah, just go search them up. If
Mhm.
you guys have any questions, leave a comment. As always, like, subscribe to this video so that you guys can be notified when we're putting out this type of content. Yeah, just everybody have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Marco.
All right, thanks, Tiago. Have a good one.